hero shooters are a saturated genre, so how do you make one stand out from the crowd? Overwatch did it through stylish character designs and good gameplay. Marvel Rivals worked off of a pre-existing IP and used cell shading to make everything pop. However, the story of these games rarely takes center stage. We're here for the gameplay. Why is Tracer working with Widowmaker despite the lore stating that they're enemies? Good question! Why can two versions of Captain America fight each other in Marvel Rivals? Multiversal shenanigans, who cares? However, what if you made the story and gameplay integration tighter, formed an entire world around 1940s noir, and added a healthy dose of occultism to the root of the world? Valve's Hero Shooter MOBA hybrid Deadlock is the answer. And it's a world full of malevolent spirits, gates to other planes of existence, and cryptids you could barely dream of. While other games have the lore as a niche interest on the side, Valve didn't half-ass it, to the point they're adding in extensive visual novels to the game to explain who these characters are and what's going on. One such novel focuses on Lady Geist, the Sacrilegious Socialite. Housed inside of her arm is the malevolent spirit Oathkeeper, which can extend her lifespan at the cost of sacrificing others. Will she keep the contract going to live forever, or will some pesky morals get in the way? That is the question of the Binding of Oathkeeper. Welcome to the Grey Wall Brokerage. Everyone works for us eventually. Please like, share, and subscribe. If you like this video, please check out my other Deadlock lore content. The Binding of Oathkeeper is a full visual novel with multiple endings. This video is meant to document and critique it in its entirety. Spoilers for these novels will be discussed, so feel free to skip this video if you want to experience fresh when it releases in full. Lore within said novels is subject to change as well, as this is still in early access development. If you're alright with spoilers, let's jump right into it.
Apologies for the mess. I had company over last night.
I can see that.
If it makes you uncomfortable, you could wait outside while I...
No, it's fine.
You're very convincing, Doctor.
I'm sorry, it's just that seeing it is different than...
Of course. Let me, move the rug.
Thank you. So, what's going on?
It's Oathkeeper. He's... stronger, angrier, hungrier, I don't know. Life doesn't sustain me the way that it used to. Oh, don't look at me like that. You're safe here.
Tell that to the last guy.
If I wanted to talk to the last guy, I probably wouldn't have killed him.
You're hilarious. Let me see your arm.
Your dad would have laughed at my jokes.
My dad had a horrible sense of humor.
He was a good man.
He did his best. The lock is still intact, but the ward is getting weaker.
You reapplied the ward 5 years ago.
I know. It's concerning.
How concerning?
How long have you had Oathkeeper trapped in your arm? 30 years?
Closer to 50.
Very concerning. Do you know how the warding actually works?
Just the basics. Your father described it as a puzzle box that Oathkeeper would be compelled to open. And that the more focus and energy he exerts unraveling the ward, the less he has to make demands of me.
Well, after 50 years, it looks like Oathkeeper got better at multitasking.
So build a better ward.
I can't.
Oh, pity. I don't maintain relationships with useless people.
I thought I was safe here.
And I thought you were good at your job. We both made mistakes.
I can't tell if you're joking.
Do you want to find out? Or would you rather just propose a solution?
There might be some alternatives.
And I can't wait to hear them.
The novel starts off rather simply, namely with Geist and her doctor, Johann Jr., discussing the ward around her arm. Johann is her grandson, and seeing as she has a malevolent spirit in her arm that prolongs her life, she's been a fixture of his for quite some time. After his father, Walter, had passed on, the task of maintaining the ward for John fell to him. As of late, it has become in a state of disrepair, let's say. Family is rather important to Geist overall, as we'll see more of later. From here, there's a choice to be made. Does Geist try and use her wealth to find others around the world for solutions, or does she continue talking with Johann to solve the problem? If she chooses the former, she decides to ask the foremost authority on celestial events, Professor Dynamo of Columbia College. It should be noted that this audio is going to be re-recorded at some point in time. Dynamo's voice actor, Jean-Patrick Lowry, was unavailable at the time, so this is temporary audio. In the visual novel, he was voiced by Fred Tatasciore.
And that concludes today's lecture on ley lines. Don't forget to review your notes on astral gates tonight. There will be a pop quiz tomorrow. Please act surprised.
Hello, Professor. I believe Johann told you to expect me.
Oh, he said his grandmother would like to have a chat, but you don't,
I moisturize.
Ah, yes. You're the one with the, condition.
Indeed.
The intersection between magic, medicine, and science is a fascinating one, isn't it?
Riveting.
It's so exciting to find a kindred spirit. Have you been going to Brown's recent lecture series? If not, you absolutely must.
My time is at a premium, Professor. The longer we chit-chat, the more likely your course is the only one at Columbia with a body count.
Oh, right then. How can I help?
My ward is failing.
Dire situation, to be sure. But I'm afraid my knowledge of binding wards is journeyman at best.
Yes, but your connections with science and academia are vast.
Vast? That's very generous of you.
I want to host a bit of a symposium on my condition, as you called it. More of a gala, really. It's pivotal that the right people are in attendance. The brightest minds.
I imagine I could drum up some interest. When next year are you thinking?
Oh, it's in 2 weeks.
Oh, that's simply impossible. The sort of folks you want to speak with are taking sabbaticals or doing field research. And as we both know, no one's leaving the Black Chateau to come to your event.
For every expert you bring, I will donate $250,000 to your department.
And what a gala it will be. I'll get you a list of names soon.
Thank you, Professor.
It's a rather brief exchange, but Geist does what she does best: forge connections. Her time around the rich and powerful works wonders. Her simple proposition establishes quite a few things. First, Geist is rather libertarian in her ethics, let's say. If you can't find a way to help her, either look harder or get out of her way. She is very no-nonsense. If you need some convincing, she has either murder or an open pocketbook to help change your mind. Decades with Oathkeeper tends to ease the mind of pitiable things like concern or worry about others. While Dynamo is valuable for all of his connections, Johan has his father's notes to look into. Looking forwards may not be as valuable as looking back and ensuring that you aren't missing anything important.
Tell me you have good news.
I have news. How good is relative?
You're very glib today.
Well, we're in a public place, so I figured I'd live on the edge.
What did you learn about Oathkeeper?
The notes Dad kept on him were meticulous. I still haven't fully digested everything, but there's a promising option emerging.
Go on.
Oathkeeper wasn't named ironically. That thing is like the patron saint of Faustian bargains. So while I'm sure he's pissed that you trapped him for 50 years, there's probably a part of him that's impressed.
So what's the promising option?
I just told you.
I want to make sure I understand. The ward is failing.
Yes.
And there's nothing that you, me, or a minor act of God can do to change that.
Correct.
But I should be encouraged by the fact that I tricked Oathkeeper into bondage.
Exactly.
Out of respect for your father, I'll let you finish that horrid cup of coffee before I kill you.
I don't think you're seeing the big picture.
As soon as the ward fails, I'm as good as dead.
Possibly.
Possibly? For 5 decades, Oathkeeper's had nothing to do but stew on what it can do to me when he's free. Do you know what 50 years' worth of revenge look like?
I don't. And that's why you have a chance. Oma, you are a uniquely cruel woman, and Oathkeeper has to respect that on some level. That thing lives to make deals. So make it another one.
I have no leverage. Why would he... Oh my God. Of course. He doesn't know how close he is to breaking free, does he?
I don't think so.
Well then, that changes things, doesn't it?
So, we have 2 possibilities to go from here: introspection or outside assistance. Choosing to ask Dynamo for his help leads to reaching out to others and making a gala happen. However, its foundation is comparatively shaky. Oathkeeper is a rather old spirit, yes, but Dynamo's a professor researching astral gates. Who knows if it'll succeed, given that this isn't his specialization? He even told you as much. Johan, however, is familiar with the nature of the problem to a much greater degree. However, his morals have a much tighter grip on them. When you're dealing with malevolent spirits who are giving you life in exchange for murder, it'll be hard to have Johan along for the entire ride. For now, we'll continue with the gala and return to what Johan says later.
Next, I'd like to introduce you to Professor Burke from Smith. Now, his background is medieval history, but I think you'll find his thoughts on trials by combat to be not only riveting, but shockingly relevant.
If you would excuse me for a moment, Professor. I need to get some air. Grant me the patience.
You hate these things too?
Eyes through this thing.
Whoops. Want a beer?
Do I look like a stevedore? Who are you?
Maggie McGinnis. I work at...
Fairfax Industries. If I recall, You was a brat that Maximilian paraded around incessantly.
Well, thanks for the open bar.
Apologies, Miss McGinnis. You were just incredibly annoying the last time we met.
I probably was. I was also 15. What's your excuse for being an asshole?
How dare you?
Word of advice, Lady Geist. Be nicer. You never know who could actually help you out. Good luck.
Merde.
Sorry to bother you, Lady Geist.
Professor, if this is about your colleague, I'm afraid I'm going to need a few more minutes.
No, a friend of yours stopped by. He asked me to give you this.
He said he was a friend?
Is he not?
I'm not sure.
Frankly, this is an I told you so sort of conversation. You put the round peg in the square hole, Dynamo cautioned you that the connections were not exactly stellar in their efficacy, and you forced it through anyway. Fortunately, she finds two coincidences among the guests in McGinnis and Detective Abrams. Abrams wasn't even invited to this thing. He just waltzed in, handed Dynamo a card, then left. Abrams and McGinnis are both playable heroes with some influence around the world, so why wouldn't they react to what's going on? This is conceptually a good twist, but it feels rather ineffectual when she gets two new connections immediately afterwards that solve the problem of a useless gala. This causes another route split, either humbling herself by asking McGinnis to help her, or following up on Detective Abrams. McGinnis is the lead engineer for Fairfax Industries, who we'll cover in more depth later, while Abrams, from what we can glean by his business card, is simply a private detective. Might as well check with the engineer first for a more permanent solution.
Pardon me, Miss McGinnis. I believe we started off on the wrong foot.
I'm busy.
I understand that. It's just...
None of the other big brains at your little party were able to help you?
Yes.
Sucks to be you.
Mistakes were made.
Where's my vase?
Excuse me?
Rich people love to give away stupid shit when they want to apologize. It's always a vase or a ceremonial mask or some silver-plated cheese-cutting set. So again, I ask you, where's my vase?
It's not quite a vase, but I'm told the proletariat love it. That was a joke. Please, can we talk?
Come with me. You're not used to not getting your way, are you?
No.
I appreciate the honesty.
Can you help me?
Can I? Sure. Will I? Haven't decided yet.
Why is that?
Well, on the one hand, it's an interesting challenge. On the other, you're just a bad person.
Your mind is the engine that drives the occult war machine. Within a decade, your inventions will claim millions of lives if they haven't already.
Yeah, sure. But my job is designing weapons. That makes me a monster in the theoretical sense. You're basically a serial killer.
Yeah.
Give me a reason to help you. Something interesting.
I have money.
I said interesting.
It will likely be 50 years before there's another maelstrom. Do you really want to wait that long before you try to harness the power of a god?
Oh, now we're talking.
How much would you sacrifice to get what you want is a key theme in the Binding of Oathkeeper, practically baked into Oathkeeper's deal as concept. McGinnis' contribution to the story is about kindness and connections. Be nicer is her advice to Geist, but it's interesting that she's the one delivering the line about it. For a bit of background on her, Fairfax Industries is the main leader of the occult industrial complex. They are currently helping out with the war in Ixia, and a subsidiary of theirs, Eldritch Tactical Solutions, is deployed to put boots on the ground. Reportedly, they're committing war crimes.
Eldritch Tactical Solutions, a subsidiary of Fairfax Industries, comes under fire as new allegations are made by former employees. Are these soldiers of fortune committing war crimes? The New York Oracle investigates.
McGinnis is the beating heart of the organization in that her inventions make everything else work properly. She is called a misanthrope and doesn't seem to mind that she is partially responsible for the deaths of a lot of people. And she, out of everyone else, is telling Geist to be nicer to people. It's an interesting contrast, but I think it's less that McGinnis' humanity is still there despite it all, and more that it's performative kindness, or more of apathy. McGinnis' skin in the game isn't really from personal gain either, she's just trying to get an amount of fulfillment from what she's doing. You can't get said fulfillment from others by being an asshole, so McGinnis doesn't go out of her way to be rude or unwelcome to people. It doesn't benefit her in the long run. She hates people, sure, but she understands them in the same way you understand how a car or a microwave works. Just press the correct buttons and it does what you need it to do. There isn't any need to antagonize them, so why be an asshole? With how long Geist has lived, she's guaranteed to learn this lesson at some point, and given this conversation between the two of them in a pre-game conversation, it seems odd that she hasn't by this point.
I don't know how you do it.
You'd be surprised what you're capable of when the only other option is death.
Oh, I wasn't talking about murder. I was talking about pretending to be interested in people at fundraisers. I've seen you work the room at Fairfax's parties. It's something else.
Oh, Johan dragged me to hundreds of those before. It's second nature.
That your husband?
Was.
Especially considering the thing that does convince McGinnis to help is the thrill of doing this in the first place. She openly acknowledges that Geist is a terrible person, but throw morality out the window. It's gonna be cool to make a new ward that'll harness the power of the Maelstrom. Kindness was never a factor, it was about office politics and getting people on your good side.
I was hoping it would be more subtle.
Subtle isn't going to keep that thing in your arm from breaking free.
And how many years will your ward last?
I'll be honest. I don't know. But I'll be dead when it does, so it's kind of not my problem.
Fair enough.
I did my part. Now the rest will be up to you.
Great. Wait, what do you mean up to me? Just give me the ward and we can be done with this.
Not quite. The ward you currently have is a lock. It hinders Oathkeeper until he figures out how to break it. The ward I built you is more like a battery.
Your technomancer babble is wasted on me.
You know I don't have to give this to you, right?
Forgive me.
Like I was saying, I didn't build it to block Oathkeeper, I built it to drop feed it, maximizing every ounce of life and storing the surplus to keep it satisfied and docile. And with the Maelstrom upon us, the amount of mystic energy you'll be able to store in that thing will be obscene, assuming you're willing to put in the work.
Do you know how long the Maelstrom will last?
No clue. I've seen estimates as low as 20 minutes and as high as 2 hours, so you better get the most use out of your time. Are you up to it?
Oh, McGinnis, don't worry. Tonight is going to be unforgettable.
Just need to charge it up with souls and you'll live for God knows how long. McGinnis knows she'll be long dead by the time it starts having issues, so who really cares in the end? I think this ending is the least compelling of any of them, but still has its good moments. The main issue I take with it is a lack of conflict or punishment for Geist's evil actions. It's too linear. The conflict of a story is where it gets the main meat on its bones, that give you something interesting to contemplate and chew on. Geist doesn't learn anything of major importance, and stays ever stagnant in who she is as a person. She didn't have a fantastic gala, and McGinnis is asking something of her, but Geist in Chapter 1 is fundamentally the same person as Geist now. Like the stainless steel on her arm, it'll simply continue onwards, as is. Keep in mind the end screens, we'll come back to those later. With all of that being said, I do like the parallels between technology and who is really in control. Before, Geist's ward was only a small lock on her arm. Now it covers the entirety of it and has a much more sleek, metallic design. With the idea that her son made the ward, there is the contrast that throwing it away to find a newer, better model that's more industrial means that she's lost her sense of self and grounding to her past. The lock was easy to forget and rather small. Now the new ward covers up to her elbow. It's not so easily divorced from her as a character. It's a full send on the concept of her being tied to Oathkeeper. She'll have the next however many years to ruminate on what it all means. She'll outlive Johan, as she already did with her son and Johan Sr., her husband. And as we see with her interaction with Abrams, she deeply cared about him, even if her way of showing it is rather unique, to say the least.
Detective Abrams, I'm sorry I missed you at the party.
I'm sorry. Who are you?
Lady Geist.
You sound French.
I am.
Thought you'd be German.
I married one.
Guess that makes sense.
I'm getting bored, Detective.
You want me to work on my tight five?
I want you to tell me what you want.
I need to show you something. You know what this is?
A book.
A tome. Something ancient. Something powerful.
What does it do?
Steal life. Sound familiar?
Detective, are you implying...
I think we're past lying, Mrs. Geist.
Ms. Geist.
I thought you married a German.
He died.
I'm shocked.
I loved my husband, Detective. And if you imply otherwise ever again, they will never find your body.
You're not lacking for confidence.
Like you said. We're past lying.
Take a look at this. May I see your hand, please?
The symbols. They...
What the hell was that?
That shouldn't have been possible.
What do you mean?
Oathkeeper is oblivious to the world outside his prison. I'm supposed to be able to choose when he sees, when he speaks, and even then only I can hear him.
I think it's safe to assume Oathkeeper and the tome are connected.
Indeed. What do?
We summon the patrons.
Abram's help is mutually beneficial. He gets to understand what's going on with his car being firebombed in the pursuit of the book, while Geist can use the knowledge contained inside the tome to help solve her Oathkeeper problem. In order to do this, they'll seek out the patrons for answers. They won't be able to get a major blessing like in the ritual, but they can ask him for a solid, and he'll give something back. What can they expect in return for summoning an elder god?
Lady Geist, Detective Abrams, through your will I am here. What would you ask of your patron?
Knowledge. What is the connection between the tome I carry and the spirit in Lady Geist's arm?
Long ago, the tome was used to conjure Oathkeeper.
And how do we go about...
Detective, you already received your boon.
You didn't give me knowledge. You gave me a sentence.
When asking a question, it pays to be thorough.
I don't believe this.
You think I do? Don't mess this up, Geist.
With the bar, you said it would be fairly impressive to do worse.
Lady Geist, I grow impatient.
Restore the missing pages of the tome, so that Oathkeeper may be bound to it and not to me.
Done.
What did you do, Geist?
What do you mean, what did I do?
The plan was to destroy the tome with Oathkeeper inside it.
That was before it became very clear that the patron was not keen on providing multiple steps.
I'm still stuck with the tome.
But I'm not stuck with Oathkeeper.
Yes, but the people trying to kill me for the book can still very much find it.
And that is certainly a problem for you.
And if they release Oathkeeper, who do you think that spirit will be looking for?
You may have a point.
No shit.
Well then, I think there is an obvious solution.
Oma, this is a horrible idea.
I would think that you'd be happy that the Oathkeeper situation has evolved.
Evolved is a word for it.
The guest room is down the hall.
Your bathroom is bigger than my apartment.
Don't get used to it. It's only temporary. But until the tome is destroyed, it would appear our fates will be intertwined.
And they were roommates.
Oh my god, they were roommates.
I appreciate this route more for a few reasons. Geist's character flaws don't end up with her functionally getting what she wants because she wants it. She takes one step forward, 2 steps back. She can't just weasel out of her deal with Oathkeeper and still has to put in more effort to finally fix the issues she's caused throughout her life. Solving the problems you put yourself into takes time and effort to really fix. You can't just pray and wish it away. This isn't the end of a story, it's the start of a romantic dramedy. She's trying to reverse her aging and ensure her debts don't catch up with her. He's trying to solve the problem of a cursed tome and the people trying to kill him for it. They're both living in the same apartment. Next week in the New York Oracle's hit new show, Life-Draining Danger, see how a hard-boiled detective and an experienced socialite try to solve their common conundrum to save their lives and possibly find a new one. Together? Check your local listings. It does also show that the patrons are not exactly to be trusted. Instead of getting a very clear-cut and understandable explanation, Abrams asks a question and then gets the bare minimum, if that. Summoning these eldritch entities is likely going to hurt the world more than help it, especially if they're giving so little in return. However, their omniscience is undeniable, at least in the short term when starting rituals. Even though it's clear that they aren't exactly moral and upstanding, sometimes there are no alternatives. Not to mention they can start talking in your head to convince you of what they want.
Lady Geist, Oathkeeper's demands will only grow greater if you don't stop him now. Summon me.
Before the start of any given match of Deadlock, your player character will either have a conversation with their lane partner or the aforementioned line from their patron. Conversations are currently running with 3 different ones with every member of the cast, although not all of them have been completed and there may be exceptions. While these are not released, there are additional conversations unlocked after the end of the visual novel routes, depending upon which route you went down. Special shoutouts to That Grey Cartoon Pony for animating an Abrams and Dynamo conversation that happens as a result of this. Link is in the description, and please give support to them for making such a fantastic animation.
I heard a rumor that you moved in with Lady Geist. Don't want to talk about it.
Who would have thought that a simple business card could start a star-crossed romance?
Nothing romantic about it, pal.
Not yet.
Not ever.
There are variations on the same ones depending upon the route, such as Dynamo asking Abrams what happened to Geist if she never visited him.
Sorry about crashing your party.
No apologies needed. It wasn't my party. Did you ever meet up with Lady Geist?
No. Never called back.
Sorry to hear that.
It's probably for the best. I heard that woman's bad news.
This is from an early access game which hasn't fully released yet. Overwatch took years to get similar amounts of lore, and Marvel Rivals' conversation system is comparatively sparse. The amount of effort put on display here is incredibly deep as is. This is from 2 routes of 1 visual novel, and it's the first one that's fully completed that we know of. We know of 2 other novels planned in Ivy and Holiday's visual novels. I won't cover them in depth here as they are currently incomplete. As we saw at the end of the Abrams route, we also see that they have other visual novels planned for more characters than the 3 we have audio for. Fully exhausting the ideas with the Gala, Geist only has the option of talking to Johann, as seen earlier. She can do one of 2 things from there: renegotiate the terms of the contract or pawn Oathkeeper off onto somebody else. Heading to Jezebel's billiard hall, she sits down for a heart-to-heart with Oathkeeper.
I hunger, Geist.
You speak as if that's my concern.
By the day your beauty fades, I would say it's very much your concern.
I love it when you posture as if I don't have you under lock and key. You will be fed when I choose to feed you and not a moment before.
My power
Is weakening. You think I haven't noticed? Last year I could kill a vagrant and enjoy the rest of swimsuit season. Now the same hobo would barely last me a drive to the Hamptons. At some point, le jeu ne vaut pas la chandelle.
Now who's posturing?
What good is eternal life if I spend it in an OSIC oubliette? And we both know that's exactly where I would end up if I gave in to your every whim. No. Your demands are too much. And so I'm given little choice but to age gracefully.
So what? You toss me more scraps for the next 50 years?
My dear Oathkeeper, the scraps you are fed today will feel like a banquet compared to the crumbs you will be fed in the future.
Such conviction. I almost believe you.
Believe me, don't believe me, either way. This dynamic of ours is not really benefiting either of us anymore, is it?
It sounds like you're about to propose a solution.
You don't want to be trapped in my arm. I don't want to be killed if I release you.
So pay off your debt to me.
Did you forget the part where I said I had no intention of obeying your whims?
A deal made needs to be honored. It is my nature.
And it will be, just not by me.
Go on.
I don't release you. I transfer you. To someone I trust. You get a host for your regular indulgences.
And I don't have a moment of freedom to kill you.
Exactly.
The idea has merit. Do you have someone in mind?
As Johann said, he's the patron saint of Faustian bargains. While a threat or 2 got him moving forwards, renegotiation is once again on the table. However, just who exactly do you pawn this off to?
No.
You promised you would help me.
With the ward, sure. Not with making a deal with the devil.
The devil. Oh, don't be so dramatic.
You're not foisting Oathkeeper on me. End of story.
What would you have me do?
You know a bunch of horrible people. I'm sure any one of them would love to live forever at the cost of someone else's life.
Of course I do. The question is, who do I know that wouldn't turn on me the first chance they got?
What about Mr. Fairfax?
Not a horrible suggestion. I'm sure he tried to either bind or weaponize Oathkeeper, but that would be his problem, not mine.
Weaponize?
The occult industrial complex never sleeps.
Don't go to Fairfax.
No, it was a good idea.
There has to be someone else.
What about Shelley Fisher?
How do you know that name?
Oh, I went through your files last week when you invited me over for dinner.
Why would you do that?
Because I knew you would never reveal your patient's personal information.
That woman is sick.
Which means she is desperate. And desperate people make wonderful prospects.
Leave her alone.
Your morals seem fairly arbitrary.
I can't do this anymore.
Here we go again.
That thing in your arm is a cancer.
Which is why I'm trying to remove it.
But you're not. You're trying to pass it on to someone else. There's no cure for Oathkeeper. Dad bought you as much time as he could, but time is up.
Finding a new host was your idea.
And I was wrong. Everything about it is wrong. I have to go.
Children.
Alright, so 2 choices. The leader of the Occult Industrial Complex, who is running a war machine, has multiple charges of war crimes from his company and subsidiaries, and who we know is rather sociopathic if McGinnis is anything to go by. Or Bebop's ill creator, who's on death's door and is presumably desperate. Really picking winners here, Geist. I will say her characterization here is also something really special, in that she understands her grandson is a moral, upstanding gentleman, so just gotta double cross his ass, and it's fine. I mean, what's he gonna do? Can't put the lid back on that one. Really shows the depths Geist is willing to sink to in order to pawn off Oathkeeper. Desperation is apparent and the clock is ticking. Any moment now, and Oathkeeper breaks the ward and exacts revenge. Probably should go with your more reliable connection first, then.
Enter.
Maximilian.
Jen.
How are you?
Vexed.
I'm sorry to hear that. Perhaps I can help.
I don't suppose you know where my son is.
I thought he died.
So did I. But tomorrow's problems are for tomorrow. Please, have a seat.
Aren't you going to offer me a drink?
I'm not here to serve you, Jen. You're more than welcome to help yourself. Now, what can I do for you?
More like, what can we do for each other?
You're not actually going to pretend that you have something I need, are you?
Who's pretending?
Well, this should be good.
I didn't come here to be insulted.
No, you came here because you needed my help. You can dress it up however you want, but let's be honest. My phone doesn't ring unless people want something.
And you don't return calls if you think someone is going to waste your time.
This is true.
I accept your apology.
So, what can we do for each other?
You are a man with powerful enemies.
I have enemies. Powerful is a bit generous. Says the crone who's convinced the world she's in the prime of her life.
I see you've heard the rumors. Good. That saves me time. Your confidence is inspiring. Unfortunately, reality does not bend around your bravado.
So, Oathkeeper
is very real.
Ah, and you?
I'm tired of bearing his weight.
Go on.
Something this powerful can't be left to its own devices. It needs guidance, a strong hand, something you alone can provide.
Yes, and in exchange?
There are some guarantees that I'd like to see in place in regards to my foundations, as well as my safety.
I assume you'll want a blood contract?
Naturally.
I can have a notary here in a few days. Should be plenty of time to settle on terms.
Wonderful. I'm glad we were able to come to an agreement.
Oathkeeper is in safe hands.
Maximilian, so long as I'm in safe hands, I'm satisfied.
So, Oathkeeper, are you ready to change the world?
Mr. Fairfax, I thought you'd never ask.
Geist skirts the influence of her own mistakes by pawning it off onto somebody else. Somebody far worse. Geist is not a moral person by any means, but her trouble was rather contained. Sure, she was an influential figure and could easily start murdering hobos and whoever she deemed suitable for Oathkeeper. However, she needed to keep it in some aspect low-key and hidden. The general public isn't even sure of who's currently in control of the Eldritch Spirit, with quite a history.
Allow me to provide the answer to the age-old question. What if Oathkeeper was a gun?
Has the Oathkeeper found a new host? Read the harrowing tale that is all the talk of Manhattan's elite in today's New York Oracle.
Her armory of tools only ever reached so far. Maximilian Fairfax, however, runs the Occult Industrial Complex, and, as was said with McGinnis, his reputation is spotty at best. The world is made significantly worse by the deal, and this is arguably the start of one story at the ending of another. Or many. Run wild with the possibilities. Oathkeeper-powered nuclear bomb. Oathkeeper-fueled death laser. What if we tested an Oathkeeper-adjacent bioweapon that sucks the life out of people it touches? Good news. The Ixian War will finally be coming to an ending. Bad news, it will be hell for anyone facing down a Fairfax-made barrel. Geist isn't doing the war crimes herself, but she's enabling them with poor decision-making. Alright, so what if we take advantage of an elderly woman instead?
Excuse me, is Shelley Fisher available?
Miss Shelley isn't feeling well at the moment and isn't taking visitors.
Well, it's a good thing I'm here then. I'm an associate of Dr. Geist.
Send her in, Bebop. I'll hear what she has to say.
It's nice to meet you.
What can I do for you, dear?
It's more like what I can do for you. I know you're running out of time, Miss Fisher, but you don't need to be. What if I told you that you can bar death from entering your home?
I'd say it's rude to lock out a visitor.
What?
I've lived a good life, a long life. I buried my husband, and while I'm not eager to see him again, if death comes knocking, I'll come running.
I don't understand.
That's 'cause you're young, dear.
I'm offering you a miracle.
Johann called and told me all about you, Lady Geist. And if you knew anything about me, you'd know I traffic in creation, not death. So, no. You're not offering me a miracle. You're offering me a curse.
You're going to die.
I am. But at least I'm not going to live by becoming a killer. You know what you're doing is wrong. If you didn't feel that way, you wouldn't be trying to pawn off the responsibility.
What am I supposed to do?
I don't know. That's the problem with making deals with the devil. He always comes to collect.
I tire of your sanctimony. If you won't take Oathkeeper on my behalf, you will at least buy me more time.
I brought some chocolate biscuits for you and your guest, miss. You step away from her right now.
Or what? No! Oh, no, no, no.
Freedom.
Oathkeeper, please.
Don't beg, Lady Geist. It's beneath you. Automaton, take your charge and leave. My friend and I need to make up for lost time.
You reaped what you sowed, Geist. Johann told you this was a terrible idea. You're not trying to save yourself, you're trying to doom someone else for your actions, knowing full well what the consequences of you doing it were. Miss Shelley is exactly on the money, and this is chef's kiss storytelling here. The only bad part is that Miss Shelley's house is going to have blood splatter and or a corpse in it. Out of all the endings, this is my second favorite of the bunch, and Miss Shelley's argument are quite important, especially with Bebop's surrogate son status. Johann is a good person, and Geist could very easily have the exact same living situation as Miss Shelley if she tried. Johann is helping her constantly with trying to make her healthy and keep her out of harm's way. If Geist accepted her mortality at all, and understood that she couldn't keep running, then she's gonna die at the end, sure, but it would be an ending where she is at peace. Johann would grow old, have his own kids, and you'd be able to be a part of their lives. She wouldn't get demolished by her bad karma tearing her to shreds. Moral comeuppance hit her like a truck. Run with all your might, but the past never goes away. Oathkeeper will never let you forget that fact. You were willing to sacrifice others' lives for the sake of your own, but when yours is under threat, you don't want to honor the other part of the deal. Karma never forgets. Maybe if she had instead tried fixing the deal to have more favorable terms, it would have gone better for her. Let's rewind a bit to see how that would go.
Jeanne Geist. You've been a busy woman.
I made a promise.
Ah, so now you remember.
I never forgot. And I decide who gets to die.
Of course. A guest doesn't get to be picky about the meal they're served.
And how often will I?
Well, that all depends. Life is bought with life. The better the quality, the more time you have.
So all lives aren't equal.
If you honestly believe they were, we wouldn't be talking. Now, do we have a deal?
I fed you plenty.
And yet not nearly enough. Your binding of me
And showed favorable terms.
was against the spirit of the bargain. And when I am free of this prison, you will answer for it.
Oh, I believe you. But you will be waiting for a very long time, my friend. Unless
What?
Unless you're interested in making a deal.
I'm listening.
Just need to figure out how best to rewrite the contract such that both parties are satisfied with how it'll be going forwards. Johan suggested it, so probably should follow up with him on this, right? There is also the idea of just giving him what he wants for now. See if it'll perk up his mood for a greater discussion going forwards. Well, Johan is rather involved in this entire process though, so guys can inform him of the good news for now and get some more ideas of what to do going forwards.
So how's it going with Oathkeeper?
Surprisingly well. You were right. He was very eager to renegotiate the terms.
What's he want?
For me to make contact with the patrons.
Oma, you're in this mess because you made a deal with the spirit, and now you want to go out into the maelstrom and make a deal with another?
I'm not making a deal with the patrons. I'm just using them as a notary.
What do you mean?
Well, as you know, life is bought with life. The patron is a means to increase the exchange rate, so to speak.
Why not just ask them to banish Oathkeeper?
Why would I do that?
The whole point was to get rid of that thing!
No, the point was to save my life. We've already established that you're incapable of repairing the wall, so where does that leave me? Oathkeeper escapes his prison, I die. Oathkeeper is banished from my person, I grow old. Both are unacceptable.
You're acting like growing old is a death sentence.
It is. And it is slow and painful. You don't understand what it's like to have your body grow frail and decrepit, for your mind to shrivel, to have others stare at you with nothing but pity. No, I will not die a crone. And if I make Oathkeeper happy, I won't have to.
I won't be a part of this.
Don't be stupid. You are a part of this.
Not anymore, I'm not. If you think I'll help you...
Darling, you don't have a choice.
Go to hell, Oma.
Oathkeeper, how much is he worth?
My. You are full of surprises, Jen.
I did not have drugging your grandson, Doctor, on my bingo card, but, probably should have expected this with how much she was willing to sacrifice, whether it be personal or anyone else's happiness. Geist is not afraid to use others for her own wants. Johan has been nothing but good to her the entire time, and she decided to repay that kindness by backstabbing him. Everyone is a tool to be used for her power, regardless of how close they are to her. She did say that she does not maintain relationships with useless people, but he was the foremost scholar on what is in her arm. Oathkeeper presents many problems, so who exactly is she going to consult if it goes awry? At this point, though, it isn't really Geist in control.
You were a fool to make a deal with that thing.
Please, I'm in control.
If you were, I doubt you'd be risking your life right now.
All of this, and for what? So you can be even more of Oathkeeper's puppet than you were before? Johan is your conscience telling you how it is. You say you won't die a crone, but are you really telling me you're never going to confront death? Oathkeeper isn't even allowed outside the ward, and you're still deathly scared of him. And now you're trying to act as though doubling down on the terrible investment is a really good idea. Not only that, but in the process you're giving up the only family you have left. Those who don't realize what they have miss it the most when they finally give it up. The patrons are rather powerful, so let's hope that whatever it is, it's worth it.
Lady Geist, through your will I am here. What would you ask of your patron?
A new covenant. One enforced by your power.
Oma, please.
The terms.
One life, in exchange for 200 years of complete obedience.
Oathkeeper, does this agree with you?
Very much so.
Don't do this.
Offer your tribute.
I didn't think you had it in you.
It's like I told the doctor. I don't maintain relationships with useless people.
Oh, Shen, you are a delight.
Oh, darling, if you think I'm fun now, wait until you see what I do next.
Congratulations. Everything is now worse. Johann is dead, Geist is free to have Oathkeeper for another 200 years, and slaughter is surely abound now. In terms of the ending itself, it's well written. Geist's worst impulses take over, and instead of having a happy ending where the world, her friends, and family are better, she's going to terrorize everyone and everything around her. A character regression, if you will. This entire journey is about what sacrifices Geist is willing to make to maintain her lifestyle. Here, it's what's left of her family, left of her humanity. Not much of a life when it's all blood, slaughter, and parties. Family is not always perfect, but it's a good grounding that helps you stay on the straight and narrow, especially with how well Johann was treating you. If only she decided to be selfless and finally get rid of Oathkeeper.
One life. In exchange for... Did you pick a name?
We named him after Dad. Johann, can you say hi to Oma?
Oh, please. Not Oma. It sounds old.
Sorry, Mom, you are old.
Don't remind me.
The terms, Lady Geist.
One life. In exchange for mine, Oathkeeper is banished from this plane.
What?
Done.
No!
I don't really know if flowers are the appropriate thing to bring someone who endangered your life before saving it, but I don't know. Just had to see you. Thank you.
Complicated and nuanced, this is my favorite ending in the visual novel, hands down. It's a fantastic showcase of all aspects of Geist. While she is a monster, she still has humanity in there. Beneath her cold, murderous exterior, she does have a heart that cares for others. Granted, she did drug her grandson and was about to sacrifice him to get 200 years of life, but she changed it at the end of it, gotta count for something. As was said, life must be bought with life. She freed Johann from the shackles of being her keeper and let him live his. He's a good man. The deal with the patrons was such an important juncture that maybe it is worth sacrificing yourself for others. Now her way going about it was rough, to say the least. It's a well-done subversion of the status quo where Geist is always killing and sacrificing what others want for her benefit. It's time to sacrifice for others herself. She is willing to help others, but more that she has a hard time recognizing that she wants to do it. As seen with an in-game conversation with Victor, she's more than fine with it.
My son's a doctor. You should speak to him.
What?
Your condition is only going to worsen without someone to maintain you, and Johann is one of the best in New York. I'll introduce you when this ritual business is concluded.
Why are you being nice to me?
I don't know. But speak of it to no one. I have a reputation to uphold.
This is my favorite conversation we currently have for a few reasons. First, Geist says her family is central to who she is as a person, and Johann is an expert doctor who maintained her condition. When she sees Victor, the walking corpse, in a state of disrepair and can wrap her head around to not insulting him or being repulsed, she's seeing how much of herself is in that man. She didn't need to tell him about Johann, but she did anyway. He very much wants to help people and put his skills to work, so why not bring him another patient that is in a similar condition to hers? Especially with the additional context of how much Geist hates growing old. She just doesn't want it to happen to anyone else either. Second, Geist doesn't even know why she's doing it herself. In her other two conversations with Victor, she just hates him.
Well, aren't you a ghoulish creature?
I'm a walking corpse.
I think we've established that.
You look repulsed, Lady Geist.
You're a shambling mass of flesh. Why wouldn't I be?
It's just such a well-done interaction where when Geist isn't thinking solely about money or power or her own benefit, she can empathize with others meaningfully. Real recognizes real. So let's go back to that ending screen for a moment. Impact other stories and dialogue. Interesting idea to entertain. I mean, it implies that after a given ending in one visual novel, it'll ripple into others and open other paths. Well, guess what? Infernus, the bartender at Jezebel's, has his own VN planned, and it impacts Geist's story now. We know it is in development as well. We have an entire scene dedicated to it in the game files that was found, but it doesn't have any audio. The gist is simple. Jezebel's is being shut down by the Alchemy Bureau, and Hank, the bar's owner, is trying to find a way to save it. In order to repay his debt to the man, Infernus is looking for alternatives to figure this out. If she visits the bar and talks to Hank, she has a choice to make. Pawn Oathkeeper off on Hank, or keep him out of the ugly business. She'll finally be rid of Oathkeeper, sure, but you're going to be dooming Hank with a deal you know is terrible that you need a ward to be able to properly utilize to your benefit. Oh well, as they say, desperate times call for desperate measures.
Looks like you've had a hell of a night.
Very much so. The usual, please, Hank.
Enjoy it. We'll be closing soon.
I thought last call wasn't for a few hours.
No, closing. Alchemy Bureau wants to shut us down.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, Fern and I are trying our best to save the place, but I don't know if it's too little too late.
Hank, if you're open to negotiations, maybe we can help each other out.
You thinking back room, or you gonna spring for a hotel?
I have standards.
Sure, but one of these days you're gonna lower them. And when you do...
This is serious. How badly do you want the resources to get out of the trouble you're in with the Alchemy Bureau?
If it meant saving my bar, I'd make a deal with the devil himself.
Then, do I have the deal for you?
Geist hasn't learned much, or more of is resigning herself to be evil here. What other options does she have if she wants to get rid of Oathkeeper? This is implied to come after Shelley Fisher tells her to accept fate and not keep running, but when you've been running for at least 50 years, you tend to get a little worried about bad karma. A leopard cannot change its spots, as they say. She's so far deep into the problem, she can't escape it. However, this is still a choice.
You two will figure it out. I'm sure of it.
I appreciate the confidence. I gotta take care of some stuff in the back. You good?
Of course. Have a good night, Hank.
I'm willing to bet someone in that group over there would be willing to make a deal. You can smell the desperation from here.
I know.
So what are we going to do about it?
Nothing. We're going to go on a holiday.
Ah, tired of New York, I see. Where shall we go? Tokyo? Rome? Ooh, perhaps back to Paris?
Oh, no, my friend. This cycle doesn't end with me pawning you off. It ends with me killing you.
This should be entertaining.
Oh, I assure you it won't be. Parasites like you need a host. And when the ward fails, you'll find no ground to run to.
Where are you taking me?
I've always wanted to see the Arctic Circle. It just took me 50 years to find the perfect travel companion.
Geist, you will suffer for this.
Yes. And you with me.
Geist can apparently just go to the Arctic Circle. I know she's got more than enough money for this, of course, but Kelvin had to organize a team and fundraiser just to go. Although when you are just going to go over there to die, it does make a lot of sense that you can just go and not worry about the details, because you're not going to need to come back. These endings further the themes of what Geist has central to her, sacrificing for life. When she pawns it off on Hake, it's likely going to lead to a small tragedy, but it's better than giving Oathkeeper to Fairfax. So, you know, it's like setting off C4 to destroy a building. It's better than bombing raids international, so it counts for something. It's just, you're still demolishing a building. Otherwise, she decides to kill the spirit and herself using the Arctic Circle. It's very over dramatic, but all the same rather effective. Geist isn't just gonna find some secluded island and say that's good enough. Gotta go to the Arctic Circle and see if you freeze to death out there. Might come back to bite the both of them, seeing as there might be an astral gate there, according to Kelvin's research anyway. Regardless, both do a great job at characterizing Geist as a very desperate and conflicted woman who understood that time really isn't on her side anymore. For the last path we have, we'll see how much some wanton murder can get her in terms of time.
Exquisite, Geist.
See? I'm a woman of my word.
You exaggerate.
Please, I'm paying you back with interest. How much were they worth?
2 months.
So are 3 of them.
Yes, but they were so pedestrian.
At this rate, I'll have to kill off half the island to satisfy you.
What a lovely thought.
We need an alternative.
What do you have in mind?
The Maelstrom. With all the spirits and rituals and whatnot, there has to be a way to improve the exchange rate or something.
Seek the blessing of the patrons.
Okay.
You want to appease me without a massacre? Fight on my behalf. Summon the patron and earn their favor. Do this, and we can be free of each other. I'll find a new host, and you will get to live out your natural life with no strings attached.
No strings. We know how that worked for both of us before.
A boon from the patron is more powerful than either of us. It's the only way to ensure we both get what we want.
Very well.
The answer being not much. This is more of a business partnership not working out. Both of them want it to work, but the exchange rate is so little, and seeing as Geist isn't really looking to sacrifice anyone in her immediate vicinity, taking Oathkeeper up on his request to see the patrons is more of a mediator for a divorce, more than anything else.
Lady Geist, through your will I am here. What would you ask of your patron?
Peace. This dance with Oathkeeper needs to end. Free me of his influence, and let us all walk away prosperously.
Very well.
And so our business is concluded.
So it would seem.
Are you going to kill me?
Why would I? The nightmares of what you've done for the past 50 years will torment you far longer than any misery I inflict.
You're joking, aren't you?
Of course I am. I know you, Jeanne. You'll sleep like a baby. It's why you're one of my favorites.
Am I now?
Humanity is so predictable. And while I took no joy in being put on a leash, it at least was something different.
So what now? We go our separate ways?
Indeed. And pray whomever I make a bargain with in the future doesn't have a grudge against you.
Well then, perhaps I'll see you sooner than either of us think.
Safe travels, Lady Geist.
May you find a host far less enterprising than myself.
I'm sure I will.
That's your flight, Oma.
Thank you for your help. You're very much your father's son.
That means a lot. Oh, don't forget your bag.
Oh, that's for you, darling. I know I haven't been an easy patient.
I don't know what to say.
Say thank you and waste it on something impractical.
Thank you. Hey, Oma, I forgot to ask. What are you planning on doing in Europe anyway?
For the past 50 years, I've survived on death. I'm ready to go live.
I think this ending is kind of medium in terms of stakes, but I do like that it ends with Geist losing something important after all of this time. She won't feel any guilt for it, but she's on a timer once more. She'll die sooner or later, and that's inevitable. It's just that now she doesn't have Oathkeeper to deal with. Her time was up, and that's just how it is. While it is described as the mega happy Geist ending, it's more of the most neutral ending out there. Geist goes through some character growth and no longer being forever tied to living forever. As she said herself, she's going out to go live. Was what she had before really living? Constantly in fear of dying and making a contract with a spirit she had under lock and key for her own protection? Oathkeeper is still out there and going to find a new host at some point, so he is still a problem in the world space. The murders will continue, but for Geist, it's no longer an issue. She's just content with being who she always was. Lady Jeanne Geist, the wife of Johann Sr., and grandmother to Johann Jr. And with that, that is the final ending of The Binding of Oathkeeper. This is only the first of many visual novels to come, and it has this much time, effort, and passion poured into it. Valve is putting their all into this game. With its unique, well-polished gameplay, gorgeous art, and well-written story, it'll be something special indeed when it finally releases. Thank you for coming out, as always. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. Feel free to check out my Deadlock Iceberg or any of my Deadlock lore videos. Any patronage is always appreciated. Until next time, keep yourself safe out there.